Have you been through a divorce in the U.S. courts?
No, ma'am.
Do you plan to be through a divorce in the U.S.
We're not legally married, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is the plaintiff, Dwayne Kamina. He says the defendant is his wife, and ever since she met the co-defendant, she's been poisoning her with untruths, and they're going through a very difficult time. Basically, she got a restraining order against him. They took all his belongings out of the house they once shared together. Now he's out, big time. Bottom line, he's suing them both today here for the $6,858.20 he's owed. These are the defendants, Nawal Muhammad and Tibet Sherwitzel. Nawal says she decided to leave the plaintiff, and he became enraged and tried to strangle her in a parking lot in Atlantic City, New Jersey. She got a restraining order against him and went to the house they shared and removed her belongings. The plaintiff is rip-roaring mad she left him. He's claiming the belongings she took were his, which they weren't, and she owes nothing. As far as Tibet goes, she has no idea why she's being sued too. They're accused of stealing.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
You seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Dwayne Kamina, you are suing Nawal Muhammad
Yes.
and Tibet Sherwitzel?
Yes.
Close. Did I get it?
Very good.
Okay. For $6,858.20 in stolen items that you say the two of them stole from you and won't return. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor. On March 27, 2017, I was called on my cell phone by the Pensacola Police Department, and they said that I had a restraining order taken out against me.
Who had taken the restraining order out?
Nawal Muhammad.
And what is her relationship to you?
She is my ex-wife.
Are you already divorced?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so she is your soon-to-be ex-wife, but you're still legally married.
According to Islamic law, when you're apart 6 months, you're divorced.
Have you been through a divorce in the U.S. courts?
No, ma'am.
Do you plan to be through a divorce in the U.S.
We're not
courts?
legally married, Your Honor.
Okay. And can you educate me, according to Islamic law, what happens to make you legally married?
You go to the imam and you have a ceremony.
Did that happen with the two of you?
Yes.
So tell me what happened. Why was there? Had you two been fighting?
No, we had not been fighting.
Okay.
On that particular day in question.
Was she still living with you at that time?
No, she was out.
How long had she not been living with you?
6 months.
By the time she got the restraining order?
Yes.
Okay, so go on.
And so I got the call from the Pensacola Police Department saying that there was a restraining order taken out against me and I wasn't to return to the house. And I'm like, restraining order for what? And they kind of explained it to me.
So she hadn't been living at the house where you were told by the restraining order not to go back to?
Yes, that's correct.
Where were you living at that time?
I was currently actually living there. I was attending school at the University of Pennsylvania. My daughters were still living in the household, attending school. So I was back and forth into the city, coming back home.
Back and forth into what city?
Because I was going into Philadelphia to attend the college, and I would come back into Jersey.
Okay, so when would you stay at the house in Jersey?
During the week.
Would you stay there with him in the same room, or in a
No,
different...
we slept in different rooms on separate parts of the house and had separate bathrooms.
And how long had that situation been going on?
It had been going on for several years.
For several years. Okay,
We've been
who else
sleeping
lives in
in
the
separate
house?
rooms. My mother, it's my mother's house. She's the owner.
Okay,
Your Honor.
and then you have 2 children?
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are the children?
6 and 12, Your Honor.
Okay, and are they both his?
No, Your Honor.
Are either of them his?
The youngest daughter is his.
So you get the restraining order. You're surprised. Do you reach out to her?
No, because they told me do not.
Right, exactly. That was a trick question. All right, so now you don't reach out to her. Then you go, what she got is something that I think surprised you, that nobody heard your side, and it's called a temporary restraining order.
Yes.
So in order to give people an opportunity who feel that they're in imminent danger, we have a procedure in place in every state in the country where you can go and you say, I'm afraid for my life, here's why. Can you give me a temporary order? And then there's a full-blown hearing where both sides get heard, and then the judge decides whether to make the temporary a permanent.
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right. So let's talk about that. You end up at the permanent hearing to see if it's going to become permanent or if it's going to evaporate, and what happens?
At the permanent hearing, the judge ruled in her favor, and he issued a permanent restraining order.
Except the judge took out one very critical part, which is the part that keeps you out of that home.
She told him on the tape she does not live there, and
Told him what?
told him in the courtroom that she
Okay.
did not live there, and he removed the restraining order from me
All
going
right, now
to the
you have a
house.
theory that the reason she got a restraining order against you was to get you out of the house for her to be able to go in and steal all this stuff.
Yeah,
Who owns this stuff?
I do.
How can you prove that you own it?
I got receipts and.
May I see the receipts?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and now let me hear from you. What day, I don't think you deny that you went in there and took all the equipment.
Yes, my music equipment that I use to do my shows and productions.
What kind of shows and productions?
I'm a singer, songwriter, entertainer, which he helped me to produce a CD, and he invested money into my career during the relationship.
Why do you say it's your stuff? Because you use it a lot?
Well, when he bought it, we were together, and he bought it for
Yeah, no,
me
nobody plans on being apart, but then
Okay.
things happen, right?
Yes, Your
Why
Honor.
are you guys apart?
Because he was insecure and controlling and abusive,
Physically?
physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
You think that, what's your name?
Tibet.
And that's why Tibet is in this lawsuit, because you think Tibet has an influence over her.
She does, and also because she was the car that took the equipment away. She drove the vehicle.
What's the relationship between you two?
We're friends.
Friends or girlfriends?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay. All right. Did you drive her to that house?
Yes.
Are you the one that came up with the idea about the restraining order?
No, she had two restraining orders.
Before this?
She had two restraining orders. She had the first one in November of last year to take out on her ex because he physically hit her when she came out the shower. Her mother forced her to drop that first restraining order. When she told me that he hit her.
Your mother still lives, still lets him live in the house?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
They have a pretty good relationship, I guess?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a good relationship with your mother?
I guess it's good. I was with her for 38 years, but when she did that, I had to I don't know what's going on with her.
Because you didn't, when you say when she did that, did what?
When she kept him in the house, knowing I had a full restraining order and she's my mother,
Yeah.
I would have thought that she would let him go.
All right, who went over to that house and took the equipment? The two of you?
I gave her a ride to pick up, it's not just equipment, it's a computer which her daughters use and watch. So it's
A laptop computer.
Yes.
A Bose PA system, a Karma workstation keyboard. That's the big ticket item. You had previously said that was worth $2,000. Why did you say today it's worth $3,206?
Actually, Your Honor, I had to research the receipt. I called Sam Ash. They found the receipt. I paid $1,809 for it.
So then why are you suing for $3,206.24?
Because they don't make the core Karma anymore. It's a workstation, and the replacement keyboard is the Cronus. And they put
Yeah, but you don't get to upgrade in a lawsuit. A lawsuit is about making you whole.
Okay.
Assuming I were to decide this was your stuff and she had no right to take it, then what you would be entitled to is the depreciated value of the item that you actually lost. Do you have receipts for any of these things? You said you
Yes,
did?
I have them in there. And I also did that. I gave the replacement cost and also gave the actual cost.
How long ago was that stuff purchased?
Bose PA system.
Actually, the keyboard was purchased about almost 10, 11 years ago.
How long were you together?
This is the
I
computer.
was with him for about, you could say 8 years, 7 to 8 years.
Sony PA.
And so he had that stuff before?
No, he only had the keyboard before. He brought
So
the
then
keyboard
where do
in.
you get off taking the keyboard if he owned it before you met him? I don't get what you're saying.
Because he gave it to me to use for my music.
Except for that he uses it too, right? And
He
it's
only
his, and he let you use it for your music.
Yes.
But it's not like he said, here, take everything I have from now on, and if we ever separate, you get it all. I mean, that's not usually what people who are in either a marriage or a girlfriend-boyfriend situation are thinking. You're talking about an item that he owned before you walked in, and you took that and everything else. We'll talk about everything else. So I'm looking for more receipts from what you handed my bailiff.
I gave you QVC. That was for the laptop.
And the laptop was purchased when?
Don't have the date.
14. Order date May 14.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in his name. And why did you take that?
His daughters use it.
Did you buy this computer for them to use?
That's
and
my-
you just don't want her to have it, but you do want the kids to have it?
That is my home work computer. Has all my stuff on it. I bought them tablets for the children to use, beautiful tablets that they can use to get anything they want on the internet. That is not true, Your Honor. That's my
Bose
computer.
PA system. Do you have a receipt for that?
Yes.
And that's from 2011. Samsung cell phone. Whose cell phone was it?
My cell phone, ma'am.
You meaning the only one that you have that you use all the time?
It was a phone that I got for my general contracting work.
Did you take his contracting work cell phone?
The phone doesn't even work. He couldn't even keep
Why
his
did
cell
you
phone
take
on.
that phone?
Because all of my contacts that I need are in there. And
Why
he
are
was
your
settling
contacts in there if it's his phone? It's not his phone? Who used that phone when it did work?
He used it, and sometimes he used my phones as well.
Okay,
We
but
used
you
each
never
other's phones
used that phone, so why did you take it?
because I needed it for a SIM card to keep my phone on.
Wow. Why don't you just go get a SIM card?
Because he stopped giving me money to take care of my kids, and he was taking care of me for all of them years. And we used each other's phones like that.
But how about the wireless speaker system that he's talking about?
I used that. He bought that for me. When we got together, he took me there. He says, I want to buy you this Bose system for you to rehearse for your music. And he invested in my music career, and he made it seem to me that that was a part of he was giving it to me.
Where's the receipt for the wireless speaker system?
I couldn't find the receipt, Your Honor.
Have you folks been to family court?
The first court we went to was family court when I got the restraining
No,
order,
I'm
Your
talking
Honor.
about with the kids in custody and all that.
They did everything at the court.
Oh, they did do it?
Yes. I
Okay.
have full custody, Your Honor.
All right. Does he have visitation?
Only with the third party, which I don't have yet. Because the judge said whenever I feel comfortable that if I get a third party, which is...
That's how the judge left it? Whenever you feel comfortable?
Yes, he says whenever I feel comfortable...
Vis-a-vis the safety of the children? Is that it? Is that what you mean?
Because of the fact that my mother would have to be the middleman and me and her are not on the best of
See,
terms.
that's what I see the restraining order saying, that
Yes.
it's visitation, through a supervised party being your mother.
Right.
So you've changed your mind on who the supervised party is, and he can't provide another supervising party, and the judge isn't staying there and making you two find one, so he just hasn't seen his kid in how long?
Since March 20...
But why don't you put your big boy pants on and go to the court and demand to see your kid?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Okay, I'm going to play Sigmund Freud. Why is it that people who get dumped, often the emotion is to seek revenge? Why?
I think that their first inclination is revenge.
But why? Why revenge? Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
Why do hurt people hurt people? I don't understand it. Why do people who are hurt want to hurt back?
Because they feel wronged and they want to get back at the person that cheated on them. Or
Here's the deal. We are not going to figure this out right now. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
So what is this about, like, feeling comfortable? That's what I'm not understanding.
They don't want to see him. They're terrified to see him. They
Did he
told me
ever
they
touch
never wanna
them?
go-
Did he ever
yes,
hit
he
them?
Has. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a prospective court date? Like, is there a hearing date set?
No, Your Honor.
Well, there's not going to be until you get off your hiney and go
And
find
none
one.
of that is true.
It doesn't. I'm not. I don't care. You guys don't understand. I don't really care about either one of you. I care about the child who is 6 and is only hearing one side of things, and then will grow up one day wondering where her dad was and why her dad didn't bother to fight for her. So if all that's not true and you're the father of the year, then I expect to see you ask for a hearing date so that you can force the issue of visitation.
I did
Because
that,
if you
Your Honor.
don't, then that's why you're not seeing your kid.
I've been to the court. I'm already in process.
Okay, that's what I want to know. I want to know that you're doing something
Yes.
on behalf of your child.
Absolutely.
Because that's who I'm talking about right now. Now let's talk about all this equipment. Did you bring any of the items to court today?
No, Your Honor.
Not even the Samsung with the contacts?
The phone is at the house. He can have it.
Do you have your own laptop? Would you use your own laptop computer?
I have to use a laptop for school, but my school provides the desktop computer at the office. My daughters
Are
use
you
that
still in
computer.
school now?
Yes, ma'am.
You're at UPenn?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you studying?
I'm studying pharmacology and music business.
I am going to rule in your favor on certain items and rule, first of all, on the Karma workstation. You can get one of those for $549. That was entirely your product before you guys even met. I am awarding you $549 on that. I have also obtained the fair market values of the Bose PA system, and the fair market value is about $400. That's an item that you bought together as man and wife, and I am awarding you half of that one. The Dell computer, it sounds pretty clear that that was your computer, and I'm going to award you the full fair market value of it now, which is $320. The Samsung cell phone, I'm going to order you to return, and we'll make arrangements with Officer McIntosh, because really the value of that are the contacts that are inside, so I imagine that's what you prefer. As for the wireless system that you have no receipt for and that she says was a gift, nothing. So I do find in your favor in the following amount: $1,069, plus you will return the Samsung phone.
Yes, Your
That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff prevails. He doesn't get nearly what he was seeking. You know, your collar's been turned up the whole case.
Thank you.
That's a little bit better. What's your reaction to the outcome of this? This is some hell of a dispute you've got going on.
It's a good outcome.
Okay, very good. You know, I did want to ask you one thing. You're studying pharmacology and music. That's kind of an interesting combination. You're going to be a pharmacist if the music doesn't work out?
Yes, I'll have something to fall back on.
All right. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Case is over. You must sign some documents out there. You know, you were seeking almost $7,000. You didn't get anywhere near that. How do you feel about it?
Well, I don't feel good about the amount of the judgment. I mean, the workstation, you can't get it anymore. The replacement cost is way higher.
You know, the real thing here is the relationship in this family and the kids and everything else. You know, the judge wants you to do what you can to fight for your kids.
Yes.
Are you doing that?
I
Going to
am.
do it?
I am. I'm in court now. I'm waiting for the court to give me a court date, and we'll take care of that
Just a mess,
at that
isn't
time.
it?
It's life.
It's life.
It's life, yes.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yes.
I'm sorry about it, but thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay?
sir.
That's the judge's verdict. You're going to have to live with it. Harvey, tragic case.
Well, look, Doug, I mean, these people clearly don't get along, but they have kids, and they have to figure out how to put those bad emotions aside for the benefit of the kids, because if they don't, the kids are going to resent them when they grow up. And that will do it for this case of litigants. For the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, LaTasha Bannister. She says she rented an apartment to the defendant, and let's just say things didn't work out. She ultimately had to start eviction proceedings on her. The vindictive woman's intentionally damaging the place. And if that isn't bad enough, the woman's unruly daughter punched her. In all her years, she's never had the displeasure of coming across such a malicious person. The woman knows how to game the system to avoid her eviction, and she's here asking for this court's help to recoup the $4,450 she's currently out. This is the defendant, Maria Hennigan. She says the plaintiff's whole demeanor changed overnight when she started her catering business. Who knows, maybe she's jealous of her success. The woman has turned into a real hothead. She didn't cause any damage to the apartment, and if anyone's owed money here, it's certainly not the plaintiff. She's accused of being a vindictive tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for lost catering jobs and harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff rented to the defendant, and the woman intentionally damaged the place, and her daughter even punched her. But the defendant says this is all about jealousy because she became a successful caterer. It's the case of I don't cater to you anymore.
Thank you, Douglas. Latasha Bannister?
Yes.
You are suing your tenant. She's presently your tenant still?
Yes.
Are you Maria Hennigan?
Hennigan, yes.
Okay. You're suing her for $4,450 for roof repair, floor repair, and inspection costs that you think she should pay.
Yes.
You have a counterclaim against her for $5,000 for harassment and losing wages. And, here's the thing. I'm wondering, why is she still living there? And why are you... What is it you've been doing? You've been taking her to eviction court, then she pays you, then you drop it?
No, I've never dropped it. I've taken her to court for the judgment. I put the judgment in. What she does is she'll say she has things that need to be fixed. Every time we go,
so
she'll
you have
add things
one
on.
court case that just keeps getting continued
Right,
and
she
continued?
keeps it open.
Is she under a lease?
No, she has no lease. I just
Then
put
all
in a
you gotta
holdover.
do is say
I
your
put in a
lease is
holdover letter
terminated.
that's been tagged to her door on this month, the beginning of this month. to
Okay,
remove
so you
herself.
figured it out, right?
Yes, right,
That it's
exactly.
your place, and if you don't
Yes.
want her there because you think she's...
Right.
I'm not passing judgment on whether you're sabotaging.
Yes.
I'll get to you in a minute. But if you think somebody is destroying your property vindictively
Yes.
and they don't have a lease, you know, you get to have them out. That's
Yes.
how it works. It takes a little effort,
Yes.
but you get to have them out. You don't have to live like this. Now,
Right.
according to you, you rent to her and her fiance several years ago. What, 3 years you've been there?
December 14th.
And everything's fine while the fiance's there, then the
Yes.
fiance and she break up, and what happens?
Once I stopped seeing him, then at that point, you know, her rent began to be delayed, you know, every now and then, things of that sort.
Now, you installed DirecTV,
Yes.
and you had them put a dish on her roof?
Yes.
What are you thinking? You don't have the right to pierce her roof for your DirecTV. So did it get taken down?
Yes, I had to hire someone to take it down, who charged me to take it down.
What did that person charge you?
Well, he didn't. He just charged me one whole fee was $300 to do everything.
To
He
do
took it
everything,
down.
which means to take
Took
down?
it, right, he took it down.
And patch the roof.
Right, exactly.
All right, and why wasn't that good enough? Because you've come here and you're suing for $1,850 more. You're suing for the $300 that he charged you,
Right.
but you're also suing for another $1,850 to replace half of the roof. Why? Why didn't the patch job work? Because
what happened is I had a brand new roof previous to this, and
Yeah.
everyone always says when you patch a roof, you can't patch.
Have you
a roof,
seen
it
any?
begins-
Yeah, you can patch roofs.
Oh, well.
You can repair roofs.
Okay.
It can happen.
Okay.
Now, it's got to be a good repair.
Right.
But do you have
But it
any
wasn't a good
evidence
repair.
that it
Right.
didn't hold up or something?
Well, do I have good evidence that?
Do you have
No,
any evidence that the patch didn't work?
I can't. I don't have any good evidence because she was letting me one up, but you can't go up in her apartment.
Okay.
And then she started calling 311. So. She don't want to.
All right. When does she start calling 311 on you?
After I put the papers into court for her to be for the judgment, and she knew eviction was coming next.
Okay.
This is the first
So
one.
now she calls 311, and at some point they come over and they inspect the hotness or lack thereof of the water.
Right, correct.
Right. And they fine you.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And you're suing her to pay your fine?
Because the young lady's son told me that she said she was going to run the water and let it be cooler so I can get the summons. That's why. But I know hearsay doesn't matter.
You never
in
said
court.
that in your complaint. What you said is too many people were taking a shower. What's going on? She says you're destroying the place out of vindictiveness because she's taking you to court. Magically, 311 now has to be involved in everything as soon as she took you to court for non-payment.
I only made the complaint, as my witness can attest to, after multiple attempts and multiple conversations.
What was your complaint about? The hotness of the water?
The consistency of the heat in the hot water, the pressure,
Okay.
the smell emanating from, I'm not certain if it's the radiators or the pipes or which entity it's coming from exactly, but there's a very strong odor coming from within my apartment. And she told me on about 3 occasions that she would bring me a solvent to put down the drain. That never occurred. Now,
How would
I
you make
shouldn't
your
have to-
complaints? Through text?
Most of my complaints were by phone. There were a few through text. Everything's in there as well.
I see one in December 14th morning. There hasn't been hot water since yesterday. It is freezing here. The pipe smell's getting worse no matter what solvent I use. And there's no response from her?
I called.
Okay.
That's not true.
Well, see, that's why you
I'm
want
going
to
to show you the
text.
stuff that I purchased for her. When you look at the documentation right there of all the summons that she had gotten me, she left the gas in the previous tenant's name, ran it up to over $3 grand, and called 311 and told them I shut her gas off. They fined me for $250 two
Okay,
times.
I need you to prove what you just said.
I gave it to you. There it is right there.
Hold on. Did that happen? Did it remain in the prior tenant's name?
No, it did not, Your Honor.
Show me proof that the bill was in the other tenant's name.
That's it right there. You're going to see
No,
the name on it.
I'm where?
Oh.
That's what, right, where?
They have the address there.
Who's Caroline?
The previous tenant. I had to call her and tell her what this young lady did to her.
It wasn't her name.
Yes.
It was in her name still in January 25th of 2017. You absolutely did that.
I
That's
did not
thievery.
call- okay.
You left it in the prior tenant's name, racked it up, then it gets
May
turned
I
off.
please speak?
And then you call and complain that your landlord turned it off?
That is not
Show me
not
proof of
at
you
all what
paying a
happened.
single bill from 2014 to 2017.
So by scamming the system and leaving the gas in the prior tenant's name for 3 years, is that a crime?
Yeah, you're basically stealing their money right there.
Is that classic stealing because it's just kind of not taking action to change the...
Not doing the right thing or stealing someone else's cable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, dishonesty. That's a crime.
So you steal somebody's cable and it's a crime too, huh?
I'd say so.
Anybody here want to run? Going inside the courtroom.
I never claimed to have paid a bill. I could not gain gas
So you
services in my...
never paid a bill in 3 years. The rest of us mere mortals have to pay bills.
When an owner does not do what is supposed to be done with the building, National Grid can only give you a prospective account, which means they won't charge you. But there is proof that you called to have an account put into your name. I informed
Show me that.
Latasha.
You faxed
I
it
have
right
the
now.
subpoena.
Show me that. Prove what you're saying.
I had to subpoena it, and because I did not have the $15
So
for
you
the
don't have
subpoena,
it.
I was not
Okay.
able to get it.
All right. Let's talk about the hardwood floors. According to you,
Okay.
she's damaged. You're also suing for $1,800 because according to you, she's deliberately damaging the hardwood floors. Do you have pictures of wood
I have
floors?
video as
Hand them
well.
over.
She told
Now,
them.
what I would like to know about is how did this happen to the wood floors? There's there's some pretty vicious scratches
Some
there.
groves, yeah.
Because you haven't moved out, so I'm wondering how all those scratches happened.
They were there when I moved in.
Right here. Look right here. And when you see the couch move, you're gonna see the fresh scratches. Show her this one right here where the radiator is, and you'll see the fresh scratches. But she constantly changes the furniture around. You see where the couch is? And look, you can see they're fresh scratches.
No, I can also
Right.
see that the
So she
radiator's
just
been
keeps-
pulled away from the wall.
not
From
Right.
pulled
She
away.
moves the furniture around and she scratches it up.
Are you moving the couch back and forth?
Yes, but as you
Why
see,
though?
all of my furniture has a flat bottom. Every single piece of furniture that I have has a flat bottom. It cannot scratch.
It's fresh
It
scratches.
cannot scratch. I actually have video
How
of
did this
of
happen
that.
back here? How did all this happen?
The white that you see along that wall there is actually the radiator separated from the wall. Now, if you look,
yes,
if you look at
something
the picture,
separated the radiator from the wall.
yeah,
That's what
the
I'm
fact
saying.
that she didn't put the proper screws into the wall, nor did she put the plastic piece that holds the nails in. She didn't put that in there either. It's simply a screw into that against the wall.
Okay, I got it. You have a counterclaim against her for $5 grand, $2,335 for lost wages for 4 catering events.
That I had to cancel. I
That
couldn't.
you had to
take
cancel.
It. Yeah.
And why is that her fault?
Because I cannot work if I am not running around being intimidated and consistently pressed to leave my apartment or to go back to court and and report something that was already supposed to be fixed before we even went to court when we were with HPD. When I made the complaints with HPD, they were supposed to be fixed, and they weren't. I have to take time. Every time that I have to take off,
Stop
I'm
talking,
losing
Ms.
money.
Hannigan. No, the answer's no.
I work every single day.
I don't care how many days you take off because
If
you're
I have to
stressed.
take off because
Get out
it's
of my
not
courtroom.
stress.
Get out of my courtroom now. Out. Turn around, walk out. I'm not going to sit here and scream over you and get a hoarse throat. Out.
Grab your stuff on me now. Thank you. And then right to the
First of all, when you patch a roof, you patch a roof, and the roof should work. And if you don't have evidence that there's something else wrong, then what you get is the money for the patched roof. You don't get a perspective, oh, well, I don't know, I want to change half my roof. That's not how it works, okay?
Understandable.
One, there's no more talking on your part, or I'll be talking to the air in a minute, okay? Two, It is very obvious to me from these pictures that she is either deliberately or accidentally, either way, moving, scratching the couch back and forth, and in so doing, ripped the radiator away from the wall. It couldn't be more obvious to me. So I am ordering her to pay you. Do you have evidence that it's $1,800 to repair that floor?
Yeah, I gave you the estimate.
You're putting
there,
in a
but,
whole new floor or repairing it?
He has to do the floor because it's all over the floor. You know, he was the guy when the gentleman
it's in
came
a lot
up.
of places. It's
Right,
not
so-
just behind the couch. It's all over the place.
Exactly.
I am awarding you the $300 for the patch and the bring down. I am awarding you the $1,800 for the floor. That is a total of $2,100. That is what I am awarding you. Okay? On her counterclaim against you for lost wages and harassment, that's $0. Okay? We all still got to do our job, even though people bother us. Okay?
No,
Good
yes,
luck.
definitely. No, thank you.
Well, the defendant was ordered out of the courtroom. She has left the courthouse. You heard what the judge ordered?
Yes.
What do you think? You didn't get anywhere near what you were wanted.
No, definitely. You know, there's so much more, and you don't get a chance to use it all because I understand. You know, time is of the essence here. But I do appreciate Judge Emilion seeing through her. You know,
Well, this is quite a situation. She's
Yes,
still
it is.
there. What are you
She's
going to do?
Absolutely, and she says she doesn't have money to move. But when
yeah.
I put the judgment against her, she owed me $5,100.
Yeah.
I told her I want the apartment and she can keep it. She told the judge she didn't want to keep. She didn't want to. So she wanted to pay the judgment back. So you can't say that. You know.
This
you
is
didn't
going
have
to
any
be
money.
continuing. though,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yes.
Well, good luck.
Thank you
okay?
so much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you very
guys
much.
enjoy your day.
All righty. Kind of a fascinating dispute, Harvey. What do you think?
Well, Doug, I mean, they are right, and there is a crime called theft by deception in many states. Sounds like that to me. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Susan King. She says she moved here from England to take care of her sick uncle, and the defendant, a used car salesman, took advantage of her and sold her a lemon. When she complained to him, he said the car was running fine and maybe the car just didn't like her. She may be new to this country, but she won't be taken advantage of by the likes of him, and is here suing for the return of her hard-earned $4,488. This is the defendant, Alfred Del Greco. He says he's done everything possible for this plaintiff. He even swapped out the first car she bought and replaced it with another one to accommodate her large size better. The woman drove that car for a while, then came back to him demanding a refund when there was nothing wrong with that car either. He doesn't know what kind of scam she's trying to pull, but this great country of America has rules and laws, and he feels they're all on his side in this case. He's accused of trying to take advantage.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant sold her a lemon, and he's taking advantage of her because she just came to the U.S. But the defendant says he's bent over backwards for her. He says he had to find a car that fit her large body. It's the case of size matters, so he says.
Thank you, Douglas. Susan King? Yes. You are suing Island Auto Sales, represented here by Alfred Del Greco?
Yes.
Are you the owner?
Yes.
Okay. For $4,488, a refund that on the amount that you paid for a car that you don't want to keep.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What happened?
Well, I bought the car about just under 6 months ago. It was low mileage. Took it home. When I got home, I couldn't lock the car with the key fob. So I asked my friend to try and help me. We tried to do it. We eventually locked it. The next day I drove the car, come home, parked it. I couldn't even get into the car with the key fob or even the key. So I called him. He sent out his mechanic. So he got into the car, said I'd have to go back and take it to the garage. So arranged to take
The garage would be the auto...
Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry, because, yeah.
No, it's fabulous. Go ahead. Your language. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I took it and he fixed it, but then I still had problems with the key fob.
And
then,
so at some point you end up deciding that you don't want the car.
Well...
This is the PT Cruiser.
The PT Cruiser, yes.
So you bring it in to him,
yeah.
and the two of you negotiate that you would take a different car, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
What car did you end up with?
A Ford Escape.
All right. And then how did the Ford Escape work out for you?
Well, when we went to test drive it, it was vibrating, and when we got back back, he said that he'll get that looked into. And when I went to pick up the car, maybe a few days later, it's still vibrating, it smelt of oil. So we took it back in.
Wait. When you go to pick up the car, are all those things wrong with it when you're picking it up? Why do you pick it up then? Why don't you leave it there?
It wasn't apparent straight away. It was till I drove it like
Okay,
for a
so
few
when you
miles.
picked the car up, it was fine.
Yeah.
You drove off, and then when do problems start up?
Well, since then, it's still vibrating. It was still a smell of oil. So I've since then had the mechanic check it out for me.
And so you've had a different mechanic look at it?
Yeah, because I was just curious to see that.
And what did that mechanic tell you?
Well, he said, what did he say was wrong with it?
Did he give an estimate?
No.
No? What did he say was wrong with it? Go ahead.
Actually, what he said is that it has an oil leak, and it smells like the head gasket. When the head gasket's bad, when the oil runs on, that's what it smells like. I know a little bit.
Right, but then so what does it cost to fix? Because if you buy a car and there's something wrong with it, and you feel that that's something they have to pay for, then it's how do we repair the car? That's the measure of damages, not I'm giving you your car back, take it back. I've driven it for how many months have you been driving it?
No, I hadn't. I've only been driving that a few weeks, the Ford Escape.
Yeah. All right, let me see what you did get. You were looking down at some document.
I just wrote down what the mechanic said was wrong.
You don't have anything from the mechanic that says what's wrong?
No.
Just
No.
you.
He wrote on a piece of paper and just gave it to us.
What's going on?
I delivered the PT Cruiser to her. The car only had 65,000 miles on it. She drove it for a couple of days. She got locked out of the car. We come out. I sent somebody out to Eastport. It was an hour and a half round trip. I have to pay the mechanic to go out there, get her into the car, tell her bring it back. We'll take care of it, whatever it is, which we did.
What was it?
It was a lock actuator.
And
something
that car had a
electrical.
warranty, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you say I had to send a guy out there, that's your obligation under the warranty, right? Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the second car, okay? Because you trade in the first car, and then you get the second car. Is there paperwork from the second car?
Yeah.
May I see it? You too. The Ford Escape had how many miles?
120,000.
All right, so there's no warranty on the Ford Escape, correct?
Right.
Did you buy a
No,
warranty?
No.
You are unhappy with the Ford Escape, correct?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Ford Escape?
Well, it's still vibrating. It smells of oil. I don't know. I just don't feel comfy driving it.
Better to buy a car from a private person or a dealer?
I'd say a dealership.
Because?
It's more trustworthy.
What are you saying?
I think a dealership.
Because?
Reputation.
Although some don't have it, right? Yeah. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Here's the way it works. A used car sale is an as-is sale.
Yeah.
Unless somebody makes you a specific warranty. In the state of New York, you have an additional protection as a consumer. If you buy it from an auto sale place like this is, then they're forced to give you certain warranties on certain mileage cars. But all bets are off if a car has over 100,000 miles. They do not have to give any warranty on a car that's over 100,000 miles. So when he says it's not my problem, it's not under warranty,
I never said that.
No? Do you want to put it under warranty?
I offered, and she signed a release saying that she didn't want a warranty.
No, but do you want to fix the car?
I offered to several times. I told her, bring it back. She complained about the brakes.
Are you still willing to do that?
Yes.
Well, I would suggest very strongly that you do it. Because I can't force him to take back the car in a situation like this. I can't order him to refund the money. You follow? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so on your lawsuit against him, I am ruling in his favor. And if I were you, I wouldn't leave the building without making an appointment to bring the car back. Okay, good luck and welcome.
Thank you.
Great, hold on, please, both sides.
Well, the plaintiff fails to win her lawsuit. Ms. King, welcome to American justice. How long have you been here now?
Just over 5 months.
What's your reaction to the case, number one?
It sucks.
It sucks. Well, you don't get the money. But he did offer to fix the car. Will you take it back to him?
No. I'll be going to...
You won't?
No.
Why not? What are you going to do?
He's had it to
No.
fix it already.
Well, what are you going to do? Pay somebody else to
No,
fix
I'm going
it?
to sell it. I don't want it. I'm going to sell it.
You don't want it? You're going to get rid of it?
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry you're not happy with the car? Sorry it's been a bad day. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Nice chatting with you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Del Greco, I must admit, you sound like a very reasonable guy. It sounded to me like you were trying to do whatever you could to help.
Oh, yeah, we did everything we could, bent over backwards for her. I loaned her a car while all this was happening, and she went and got a red light ticket for it and refused to pay for that.
Well, listen, congratulations. all
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty, thank you. Thank you, sir. Harvey, what do you think?
Doug, look, dealers are more expensive than buying from a private party generally, but many states provide protections so that you do have a lemon law in place and other protections and recourse if the car goes bad.
Don't text and drive. The People's Court is a Ralph Edwards Stu Willett production.